Hello students and welcome to SkholarIAS, your one-stop solution to UPSC preparation. I am Shubhangi Sharma, your faculty for History and Art and Culture. And students, today we are going to take up a very important topic again, which is pertaining to your art and culture syllabus. So let's begin. Let me share my screen with you guys. So as I have just told you students, today we are going to take up an important session pertaining to a topic from your art and culture syllabus. And the topic is martial arts in India. All right, now these kind of topics are something which UPSC tends to ask in your prelims examination. And that is why this is important. And we are going to cover some important martial arts of our country. Having said that, students, the first and most important thing that you need to know is that martial arts is something that has been a part of our country since the ancient times, and it is also a part of the traditional games. Now, herein, an important point for you guys to note will be that the Indian martial arts can be divided into two styles, that is the northern styles and the southern styles. And hence, as a part of this particular lecture, we are going to cover some major martial art forms of our country. Now, all the martial arts that we are going to talk about in this particular lecture are presented on your screen. We are going to cover these martial arts, that is KALARIPPAYATTU, SILAMBAM, GATKA, THANG, MARDANI, KHEL, etc. Now, students, before starting the lecture, I would like to tell you that whenever we are talking about martial arts, you need not go into very intricate details pertaining to each and every martial arts. With respect to UPSC, the only things that we need to know as a part of any particular martial art is the origin. All right, first of all, the origin / the state in which any particular martial art is being performed. Secondly, we will remember the time period, all right, the time period in which any particular martial art had started. Apart from that, we will remember the person or any particular community, okay, any particular community which is performing this particular martial art or any person to whom the origin of this martial art is dedicated. Finally, we will remember any striking feature. If there is any particular striking feature that makes the martial art stand out from other martial arts, then only we are going to remember that particular point. So keeping these four features in mind, we are going to carry forward with the discussion of these martial art forms. Let's begin. Now, students, before going into the details of the first martial art, KALARIPPAYATTU, I would like to tell you that in the year 2014, there was a question in your UPSC prelims pertaining to the KALARIPPAYATTU tradition. Now, we will solve it after some point of time, but herein my idea to tell you is that these kind of questions are something that are being asked in your UPSC prelims, and that is why such kind of topics will be important for you to cover. Now, what is there to cover is something that I've just discussed with you. So let's begin with the first martial art, students. It is KALARIPPAYATTU, which is a famous Indian martial art belonging to the state of Kerala. So the first point is already discussed, that is the state in which this martial art is being performed. Apart from the students, a striking feature of this martial art form is that it is one of the oldest fighting systems that is in existence. Now, it originated somewhere around the 4th century AD, that is in the ancient Indian period, and that is why it is sufficing to say that it is one of the oldest fighting systems in existence. Now, with respect to the features, we must know that a Kalari basically corresponds to the school or a training hall wherein the martial arts are taught. तो कलारी का मतलब होता है वो ट्रेनिंग हॉल या वो स्कूल जिसके अंदर ये मार्शल आर्ट पढ़ाई जाती है, और इसीलिए ये टर्म जो कलारी है इसका मेन मीनिंग आपको पता होना चाहिए. Apart from the students, as I have told you, there is either a personality or a community that is associated with each and every martial art. So herein, KALARIPPAYATTU was introduced as a martial art by a legend sage Parshuram who used to build temples. So herein, this personality, that is Sage Parshuram, will be important with respect to KALARIPPAYATTU. Apart from the students, if you talk about the procession of this particular martial art, so basically it includes the use of strikes, kicks, and some weapon-based practices. Apart from the students, footwork patterns are also an important key or a part of KALARIPPAYATTU. Now herein another important point for us to note will be that women also used to practice this art. And herein there is one important personality known as Untitled, who is a legendary heroine who used to win many battles using this martial art. तो हमने इस पर्टिकुलर स्लाइड में क्या देखा, नंबर 1 जो स्टेट जहां पे कलारीपयट्टू परफॉर्म होता है दैट इज द स्टेट ऑफ केरला. फिर हमने इसके ओरिजिन की डेट देखी दैट इज 4th century AD. The person who is associated with the origin of Kalaripayattu, that is Sage Parshuram, and the meaning of the term Kalari, that is the school or the training hall in which this particular martial art was being performed, or the people were trained in this particular martial art. Apart from that, one striking feature that we have read about Kalaripayattu martial art is that women also used to practice this martial art. And there is one important legendary personality that is associated with this, that is Untitled, who used to use this martial art for winning many, many battles. Now, after understanding these points, students, let us come back to our question. That is a question from your UPSC Prelims 2014, wherein we are being asked that with reference to Indian culture and tradition, what is Kalaripayattu? Now, if you look at the options that are given here, we can easily see that it is an ancient Indian martial art form and a living tradition in some parts of South India. And hence our final answer will be option D. अब इस क्वेश्चन से अगेन हमारा पॉइंट प्रूव हो रहा है. पॉइंट ये है कि मार्शल आर्ट्स के अंदर आपको मेनली ओरिजिन, जिस स्टेट के अंदर वो प्रैक्टिस करी जा रही है, या फिर कुछ स्ट्राइकिंग फीचर्स, बस इतना ही पार्ट आपको मार्शल आर्ट्स के लिए देखना है, क्योंकि इससे ज्यादा यूपीएससी आपसे क्वेश्चन में नहीं पूछता है. So now students, let's move on to the next important martial art, that is Silambam. Now Silambam is a weapon-based Indian martial art from the state of Tamil Nadu. Now, this was promoted in Tamil Nadu by the dynasties such as Pandyas, Cholas, and Cheras. And also, students, there is a reference in the Tamil literature Silapaddigaram to the sale of Silambam staves, pearls, swords, and armors. So again, there is a literary depiction of the conducting of this particular martial art, and hence the Tamil literature Silapaddigaram here becomes important for us. Also, we need to remember the dynasties that were patronizing this martial art form, that is the Pandyas, the Cholas, and the Cheras. Now, the person who is associated with the creation of Silambam is Lord Muruga in Tamil mythology, along with sage Agastya, who are credited with the creation of Silambam. So again, this is an important point and you guys need to remember this. Apart from the students, if we talk about the features of Silambam, then this is an art that also uses animal movements such as of snake, tiger, eagle forms and footwork patterns, which play a key role as a part of the performance of Silambam martial art. तो अगर हम एक क्विक रिकैप ले तो हमने स्टेट देख लिया है, वो है तमिलनाडु. कुछ रूलिंग डायनेस्टीज थी जो सिलंबम को पेट्रोनाइज करती थी, दैट इज द पंड्यास, चोलास एंड चेरास. उसके अलावा एक इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो हमें याद रखना है वो ये है कि तमिल लिटरेचर सिलापदिगरम में रेफरेंस है सिलंबम रिलेटेड आर्म्स और वेपन्स की सेल का. अगर हम पर्सनैलिटी की बात करें तो लॉर्ड मुरुगा और सेज अगस्त्य इसके ओरिजिन के साथ में क्रेडिटेड किए जाते हैं. Now let's move on to the next martial art, students. It is GATKA, and this is a weapon-based Indian martial art which was created by the Sikh community belonging to Punjab state. Now there are many weapons that are used in GATKA such as stick, talwar, kripan and katar. Now herein, students, this sport form is played by two opponents who are wielding wooden staffs which are known as GATKA, and these sticks may be paired with a shield as shown in this particular figure, and points are scored for making contact with the stick. So basically students, GATKA का मतलब होता है stick. ये stick use होती है और इस stick के अलावा sometimes when GATKA is being performed, the opponents also wield a shield. All right. Apart from the students, it is based on the principle of unification of the mind, body and spirit in a rhythm of life to train the same soldier to be able to defend himself or herself. अब अगर हम यहाँ क्विक रिकैप में अगेन देखें तो ये पंजाब बेस्ड मार्शल आर्ट है and the community that is associated are the Sikhs of Punjab. Apart from that, we will remember that by GATKA we mean a stick. All right. Let's move on to the next martial art, students. It is known as MUSTI YUDDHA, and this is an unarmed martial art from the oldest city of India, that is Varanasi. Now, the techniques that are used as a part of MUSTI YUDDHA includes punches, kicks, knees, and elbow strikes. Now, the fight in this art are named on Hindu gods and they are divided into 4 categories. That is Jambuvanti, Hanumanti, Bhimaseni, and Jarasandhi. सो बेसिकली स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पे जो आपको याद रखना है वो है उस सिटी का नाम जहां पे मुस्ती युद्ध परफॉर्म होता है, दैट इज वाराणसी. उसके अलावा जो स्ट्राइकिंग फीचर है जो आपको यहाँ पे याद रखना है वो ये है दैट दिस इज एन अनआर्म्ड मार्शल आर्ट. इसमें कोई भी वेपन का यूज नहीं होता है. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट जो भी कैटेगरीज है मुस्ती युद्ध की फाइट की उनका हिंदू गॉड्स के ऊपर नाम रखा गया है. Let's move on to the next martial art, students. It is known as THANG, which is a popular term for the ancient Manipuri martial art form, which was also known as Huen Lalong. So basically, students, थंगटा को पहले इस नाम से भी जाना जाता था और कंटेम्पररी टाइम्स में हम इसको थंगटा बोलते हैं and it belongs to the state of Manipur. Now, the tribe which is associated with Thangta martial art is the Meitei people of Manipur. So again, this is going to be an important point for us to remember. Apart from that, students, Manipuri martial arts with swords and spears is a strong yet gracefully sophisticated art, wherein the armed component called Thangta is named after the system's main weapons, wherein the term Thang refers to sword and Ta refers to spear. तो थंगटा का जो स्पेसिफिकेशन है, थंग का मतलब क्या होता है, टा का मतलब क्या होता है, ये भी आपको याद रखना है. थंग रेफर्स टू अ स्वॉर्ड और अ तलवार और टा का मतलब होता है अ स्पीयर और अ स्टिक. ओके. Apart from that, students, practitioners practice this through chebi gatka, in which a foam sword is used together with a shield. यानी कि स्टूडेंट्स जो इनिशियली थंगटा की प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू करते हैं वो एक पर्टिकुलर वेपन से शुरू करते हैं जिसे बोलते हैं चेबी गटका. गटका का मतलब हमने अभी समझा था, इट इज अ टाइप ऑफ अ स्टिक and herein it is a foam sword. All right, so something which does not means to harm the opponent. So this is used along with the shield when a practitioner is starting to understand the concepts of thangta. Again, students, in a quick recap, we will remember that Thangta is a martial art that is performed in Manipur and it was also known as Huen Lalong in its initial times. Apart from that, the tribe that is associated with Thangta is Meitei people of Manipur and we will remember कि Thang का मतलब होता है sword और Ta का मतलब होता है spear. Let's move on to the next martial art, students. It is known as Lathi, and this is an ancient armed martial art of India. Also, students, it refers to one of the oldest weapons that is used in martial arts, which is absolutely Lathi. Now, Lathi or stick martial arts is practiced in the states of Punjab and Bengal of India. So यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स जो इंपॉर्टेंट बात है वो ये है कि ये वन ऑफ द एंशिएंट फॉर्म्स ऑफ मार्शल आर्ट्स है जो इंडिया के अंदर है. लाठी एक ऐसा वेपन है जो कि बहुत ही पुराने टाइम से यूज हो रहा है और इसकी प्रैक्टिस हमें पंजाब और बंगाल स्टेट में देखने को मिलती है. Now, the next important martial arts, students, is Mardani KHEL. There is not much to know about it. You just need to remember that it is an armed method of martial art that was created by the Marathas. And this practice can be seen even in contemporary times in this region of Kolhapur. All right. Now, let's move on to the next one. It is known as Parikhanda. Now, students, Parikhanda is a style of sword and shield fighting, and it belongs to the state of Bihar. Now, the community that is associated with the origin of Parikhanda are the Rajputs. And herein, a striking feature for us to remember will be that the Parikhanda steps and techniques are also used in the Chau dance, which is a type of folk dance. And the people who are performing the Chau dance wear a particular mask. All right. So herein again, what you are going to remember is the state, that is Bihar, and the community, that is the Rajputs, who perform this particular martial art, and that it has a lot of similarity with the Chau dance, which is a type of a mass dance, and it is also a folk dance. Let's move on to the next one, students. It is known as INBUAN wrestling, and this art belongs to the state of Mizoram, and it is believed to have its genesis in the 1750 AD in the Dantland village. Apart from the students, this particular art consists of very strict rules that prohibit stepping out of the circle, kicking or knee bending. Apart from this particular art also involves the catching of the belt, which is worn around the waist by the wrestlers. And this is something that is also presented on your screen. Apart from the students, an important point that you need to remember as a part of INBUAN wrestling is that when people migrated from Burma to Lushai Hills, then this art form was regarded as a sport. That is, initially it was a part of martial art tradition. However, later on, when the people who had started INBUAN wrestling migrated from Burma to Lushai Hills in Mizoram, then this particular martial art form converted into a sport. All right. So again, you will remember the state, that is Mizoram. And apart from that, you will remember this concept of this being turning into a sport. Next, students, next important martial art is Kuttu Varisai, and this is mainly practiced in South India. Apart from this, it is also popular in the northeastern parts of the countries such as Sri Lanka and Malaysia. Now, the techniques that are used as a part of Kuttu Varisai includes grappling, striking and locking techniques, and this is something which you can also see in this particular image. Now here in students, again, there is a literary evidence that talks about Kuttu Varisai, wherein Kuttu Varisai was first mentioned in Sangam literature in the 1st or 2nd century BC, which shows that this particular martial art form is very, very ancient in nature. Apart from the students, by the term Kuttu Varisai, we mean empty hand combat. That is, no weapons are used as a part of Kuttu Varisai. Hence, students, it is an unarmed Dravidian martial art, and it is used to advance athleticism and footwork through yoga, gymnastics, breathing exercises, etc. Apart from the students, this particular martial art form also uses animal-based sets such as snake, eagle, tiger, elephant, and monkey. So here in students, again, you will remember the areas in which this particular martial art is performed. Apart from that, you will definitely remember that Kuttu Varisai finds mention in Sangam literature, which shows that the origins of this particular martial art are very, very ancient in nature. And the third important point that you're going to remember is that it is an unarmed martial art, यानी कि इसमें कोई भी weapons use नहीं होते हैं. Coming to the next martial art, students, it is known as THODA, and this is a mixture of martial art, sport, and culture, and this is associated with the state of Himachal Pradesh. Herein, it will be important to note that this particular martial art is performed every year during the occasion of Baisakhi. Now, as a part of this martial arts, students, the player or the skill relies on archery, and this can be dated back at the time of Mahabharat, wherein the bows and arrows were used in the valleys of Kullu, Manali. यानी कि स्टूडेंट्स इस पर्टिकुलर मार्शल आर्ट के अंदर आर्चरी का यूज होता है और इसको महाभारत से रिलेट किया जाता है, जहां पे बोज एंड एरोज यूज किए जाते थे कुल्लू मनाली के एरिया में. Apart from the students, there is also significance that is associated with the term thoda, wherein thoda is the name that is derived from the round wooden piece that is attached to the head of an arrow to minimize its lethal potential. यानी कि स्टूडेंट्स जो आर्चरी के अंदर एरो यूज होता है, उस एरो का जो टिप होता है उसको किसी चीज से कवर कर दिया जाता है so that it doesn't cause any harm to the opponent, and that is why this particular term thoda is associated with that. Apart from the students, when we talk about the game itself, there are two groups of 500 people each, and all of them, however, to note, are not archers, but also a group of dancers who come along with the archers to boost the morale of the respective teams. Now, the two teams are known as Pashis and Sathis, who are believed to be the descendants of Pandavas and Kauravas of Mahabharata. यानी कि स्टूडेंट्स इस पर्टिकुलर मार्शल आर्ट दैट इज थोड़ा के अंदर हमें ये याद रखना है, नंबर 1 ये हिमाचल प्रदेश के अंदर प्रैक्टिस होती है, नंबर 2 इट इज क्लोजली एसोसिएटेड विद द एपिक लिटरेचर दैट इज महाभारत, और इसके अंदर आर्चरी का यूज होता है जिसमें कि जो बो होता है उसकी टिप को किसी चीज से कवर कर दिया जाता है जिससे कि ओपोनेंट को कोई लीथल हार्म ना हो, और ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है इसी को थोड़ा के मीनिंग के साथ एसोसिएट किया जाता है. उसके अलावा जो दोनों टीम्स हैं उनके नाम आपको याद रखनी है, दैट इज पाशीज एंड साथीज, और ये याद रखना है कि ये जो दोनों नाम है ये पांडवास और कौरवास के डिसेंडेंट से एसोसिएट किए जाते हैं. Now students, with this I have completed my discussion on all the important martial art forms that are prevalent in India. I have already told you by means of an example that why these particular martial arts forms are important, because in UPSC such questions have already appeared. So herein, again, I would like to point out that with respect to the martial art forms, you will remember the origin and state of each martial art form. You will remember the time period in which any martial art form was originated. Apart from that, you will remember any specific person or any community who are associated with these martial art forms. And finally, if there is any particular striking feature, then you have to remember that. So students, with this, I have completed my discussion. If you have any questions, please put it up. All right, so there are no questions as such. Thank you so much, students, for attending this particular lecture. In case you have any doubts, please put it in the comment section. I will definitely answer all of your queries. Thank you so much again. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is SkholarIAS, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever a new important video is coming up. Thank you so much and have a nice day.